Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Trainer Talk. So today we're going to be talking about how investing in your health can actually save you money over time, and it can be also thought of as the only way to actually buy time, which we will talk about a little later in the episode. So we just want to explain a few different ways how to invest in yourself that can actually save you some money. We're going to start out with what you should focus on the most, and then work up to some less important but still very beneficial ways to invest in your health and save some money doing so.
Yeah, biggest one is just nutrition. That's where a lot of the health issues come in when people aren't taking care of their nutrition. So really focusing on that is probably where you're going to get the most benefit long term and short term. You're going to save money by not going out to eat or spending it on junk food. And then you're going to invest it in quality foods that will also help to extend the long-term years of your life, and then also the quality of your life. There's been a couple of numbers just of being like overweight. You end up spending 36% more on average on health services and 77% more on medications, and that's across the lifespan, of course. So even if you might not have anything in your early years when you're 30 or 40, but when you hit 50s, that's when we start to see pretty much most adults are on high blood pressure or high cholesterol medications, and people are shocked when they're not. Like, very many doctors are surprised when they aren't. So that's one thing that, even just like little things like that will add up over time. And then another statistic is the CDC said that 10% weight loss could reduce an overweight person's medical costs anywhere from $2,200 to $5,300 for their lifetime, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for the amount of money that you would save and invest in healthy nutrition, it'd be well worth it.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people say they don't want to buy healthy foods because they can't afford it. Which, yes, healthier, nutrient-dense foods are a little bit more expensive. But if you think about it, if you eat, you can sit down and literally eat a bag of potato chips and not feel full because it has no nutrients in it. So, yes, you might have to spend a little bit more money to get fresh apples or fresh fruit or whatever it is instead of potato chips. But those fresh fruit or vegetables or protein and meat is going to keep you fuller a lot longer, so you're actually going to be spending a lot less money in the long run. Also, if you are overweight, you're at a much higher risk of having diseases, which, just like Bethany said, you're going to be paying for whatever medications you're on. You're going to be in the hospitals more paying for that. And so spending the money on healthier foods is a lot less taxing in your wallet than it is going to be spending paying those hospital bills and paying for those medications and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the best ways to be healthy, or be a little bit healthier anyway, is actually something that's free, and that's water. Yeah. Water is, for the majority, free. At least around here, if you have a well, you're getting free water. And that's one of the easiest ways to be healthier that kind of plays into nutrition. But to kind of get into more of what they're talking about there, buying healthier foods and how that plays into saving money. Caitlin kind of touched on it, a bag of potato chips versus a bag of potatoes. That bag of potatoes might be a little bit more, but how much more full and how much better is that bag of potatoes going to be for you than the processed potato chips? That's one simple thing that we can look at. And then I think about health foods, because you mentioned it, people will say that they're expensive, and they are expensive if you're going to a store that sells them at higher prices, like a Whole Foods is a little bit more expensive. You can find pretty cheap produce a lot of places, especially in the summer when we have our farmers markets and different things like that. Produce is not very expensive at all, and it's way, way better for us. So trying to stay within whole foods and good lean meats is the best way that you can impact your health in a positive way, and that in the long term is going to save us a lot of money by not being obese and not having medical costs, different things like that. So it might be initially a little bit more to invest in healthier foods. I know personally speaking, when I started grocery shopping more for a little bit more for whole foods and healthier stuff, it seemed like it was a little bit more expensive, like I was getting used to it. But now it's like I would much rather spend that money on those foods that I really enjoy now, like avocados and blueberries and different things like that that might be a little bit more expensive than something cheap like in a bag or that's processed. But I enjoy it a lot more, and it's way better for me.
Yeah, I like to think of it just like the whole purpose of eating every day is to fuel our body so that we have energy to do things. We have to work, we have to take care of kids if you're a parent. There's all types of things that we have to do every single day, and we need energy for it. And eating food to get calories is how we have energy. So the only purpose really of food is to get that energy and those nutrients for our bodies to run properly. So if you're eating, processed foods that's a little bit cheaper, you're not getting the nutrients and the calories that you need for the fuel. That's why you have to eat more and more and more of it to actually get that enough calories to actually fuel your body. So basically, if you're sitting there eating a bag of potato chips, you can eat the whole entire bag and not feel full because your brain is just saying, hey, we're not getting any nutrients. Keep shoving things down our mouth because we need fuel for energy. So by eating, fruits and vegetables and things that are nutrient dense, you're actually going to get a lot more energy from that, and it's going to last a lot longer throughout the day. So even though that individual food might cost a little bit more, it's going to go so much further than something that costs really cheap. You're going to have to eat more of that cheap food. Not to mention, you're probably going to eat, an extra 1,000, 2,000 empty calories every day, which is just going to increase weight gain, which down the road, like these guys said, is going to increase your risk for heart disease and diabetes, and then you're going to be looking at medical visits and medications. So I like to think of it like that. Every single time I go to eat, at least for the first, majority of my day, the first 80% of my day, it's what can I eat that's going to fuel my body so I have energy for the day and for my workouts and for work, to be my best self, basically. Because I need that mental energy and physical energy to be a trainer and a coach and a business owner, and to fuel my workouts and things like that. So for a lot of you, you need that mental energy and that physical energy, so you need to be investing in your nutrition to get that energy and those nutrients.
Yeah. One more thing to add to that. Another thing people don't realize is, one, if you're not eating enough calories, or two, if you're not eating enough of the right calories, your body is literally just going to start breaking down and deteriorating a lot quicker, and so you are, you're not going to have the muscle that you need. Your bones are going to start to go into osteoporosis sooner. So you need enough calories and enough of the right calories so that you can live longer and not just live longer, but live an actually good life longer.
I mean, a lot of us suffer from, brain fog and just fatigue every day. So a lot of us turn to extra cups of coffee or energy drinks or just caffeine in general, because that caffeine stimulates the brain so that you feel more focused. But then when it wears off, you're tired and groggy again. So what we don't realize is just by drinking more water, like Austin said, and just eating more nutrient-dense foods, you're going to actually cure that brain fog, at least most of it. We still use a little bit of caffeine for extra focus and stuff, but most of the time it's just the first thing in the morning to get us going, or before our workouts, just for a little extra edge. But we don't rely on it just to get through the day. And there's so many people, after working with literally thousands of people as a trainer, so many people suffer from lack of mental energy, and that's why they don't go to the gym after work, is because they're completely whipped. And it's literally just because they're probably not drinking enough water and not eating enough nutrient-dense foods. So the most important thing you can do is just invest a little bit more time and money into your healthier nutrition.
Yeah, I can kind of speak from experience with that part. Is if I don't eat enough during the day, which sometimes I forget to, or I run out of time, and all of a sudden I'm well, now I have training from 4 to 8, and I don't have any time to eat between then. Then I don't have as much energy by the end of the night. It's crazy how much of a difference it is versus if I had all the nutrients that I needed earlier in the day, had all my meals, and they're all high quality, so you don't crash afterwards. that it really plays a big difference in your productivity, your mood. It's crazy. Like when you're hungry, you're not yourself. I mean, Snickers kind of hit that one on the head, but I wish it was for some other commercial. Another
For
like
chicken and broccoli commercial.
yeah, that doesn't sell though.
Yeah.
One thing, just to kind of put it in perspective, is if you spent $10 a day on a meal at a restaurant or fast food or something like that, or even just like coffee in the morning, and then you get some sort of snacks from the vending machine. That like over the year is going to be over $3,600. So I mean, if you're thinking in terms of prices, like the amount of money you could save by just taking that one thing a day out, and then one you're going to be adding in something healthier that you can make from home for, honestly, you can make a meal for $2. Just, you get your lean meats, so like chicken, it's not super expensive. I mean, you can get eggs
For
super
breakfast,
cheap.
super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you get rice, which is super cheap. Potatoes are actually really cheap. And then frozen vegetables, because one, they like never go bad. That's sometimes part of the problem is if you buy fresh produce, which I mean, fresh is obviously best, but if you end up throwing half of it away because it sits in there and you don't use it or you forget about it, me. I learned that I have to get frozen vegetables and frozen fruits, and then I can just kind of use them as needed and they don't go bad. So that's my tip. You can make meals pretty cheap that way, and then replacing that $10 meal with something that only costs $2 and maybe 15 minutes extra of your time. It's
Which hardly anymore, because I mean, when I see people go through the drive-thru, I mean, fast food turned into, it's not even fast because everybody's in line. I mean,
Yeah.
You see the line at McDonald's for coffee in the morning, and it probably takes an average 15 minutes just to get through the drive-thru.
You could have made it at
You
home.
could have
breakfast
made
at
breakfast
home.
and made coffee in that amount of time at home. So, just thought I'd throw that out.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. We're going to move into fitness. Next one. So right underneath nutrition is going to be fitness. We just put nutrition first because it does matter what we put into our bodies, but fitness is very important. It's a very close second. One statistic with that is inactivity costs anywhere from $670 to $1,125 like per year for an individual person, which is kind of crazy thinking about that. I mean, our year gym membership is $325. So even if you spent half that, you'd still be, saving an extra, pretty much double whatever you're paying for the gym. Instead of being inactive, sitting at a desk all day, sitting in a car, like we never walk anywhere anymore. Like, I mean, I don't even walk to work, which sometimes I do, but not much. Once I did. But back to that, a lot of people do end up sitting all day, and then they go home and they sit, and we're really not walking as much as we should be, as much as our bodies want to be or are designed to be. We're designed to be like on the move. That's why everyone, recommends 10,000 steps a day. That's especially good if you're trying to hit that, or at least try and get close to it, especially if you do have a very sedentary life. But then that's where the gym can come in. You're coming in and get your resistance training, moving around a little bit more, adding in some cardio. It's going to save you in the long run, like more than just, you get better insurance. That's one thing, like your insurance would be a lot lower than someone who is obese, inactive, leads a poor life, smokes, drinks. That's all taken into account when people are getting insurance. So investing in yourself that way does save you money in insurance and medications in the long run too.
I mean, fitness is just so good for so many things. Like, I don't think people realize, like, it's literally just like, your 1 hour, 30 minutes to just like forget about everything that's going wrong. Like, if you're super stressed out, it gets rid of that. They say 30 minutes of resistance training is equivalent to taking an antidepressant medication, which is absolutely crazy. Like, so many people go to the doctors for anxiety and depression and just get put on medications that always have side effects. Like, I don't know anybody who's been put on one of those medications and hasn't had some sort of awful side effect. Or if we could just get in the gym and move your body for 20 to 30 minutes, it helps so much. And literally a $30 gym membership is not a lot. It's like we were talking earlier, it's like $1 a day, which is so worth it. And if you honestly can't even afford that, you don't need to get a gym membership. membership. Like you can literally get outside and walk for 20 minutes. Like if you focused on just your nutrition and walking a little bit every single day, which I'm sure Austin is a big walker person, he can touch more on like the benefits of that, but you could see results and you can just you would be like, I think just moving your body every single day is going to make you happier. It's going to make you a better spouse, a better friend, a better mom, a better dad. Like you are just overall going to be a better and happier person. You're going to flourish more at work and just wherever you are. So working out just is so important and so good for you, and you just get to be around like friends. If you could come to a class or do personal training or get a few friends together, it's just a way to kind of surround yourself with like-minded people and just be in a community.
Not only that, like even to bring that back to the topic we're talking about, like the the social aspect, coming here is going to be a lot cheaper than going out to the bar with your friends and eating and having drinks. So that kind of ties into what we're talking about. But you touched on the mental health side, which I'm really happy about, because the 1-2 punch of nutrition and fitness and focusing on those things, making them better, and the improvements that personally I've seen in myself mental health wise is insane, and I wish that for everybody. And I've seen it with some of my clients. I have a client who we were talking about before the show. She has gotten 2 promotions at work, and she just started working out and focusing on nutrition about a year ago now. So within a year, she got 2 promotions at work. So she's making more money than she was before, and now she's also a more confident person, a happier person, like all those things, which are so much more than what money can buy. And that's what it's all about, honestly. So fitness-wise, like saving money, like Caitlin and Bethany touched on it, getting that exercise in is going to help you not be overweight, not be obese, which in the long run is going to save you a lot of money. And like she said, walking is something that we can do for free that is really good for us. We can move our bodies at home for free if we want to, but a gym membership is usually fairly cheap, and it's worth all the money because you're going to surround yourself with like-minded people that are investing in their health and fitness, and you can get a lot of tips from them. You're going to be around more positive people, in my opinion, which I think I know I've seen studies that like being a positive minded and being around more positive people helps you live longer and save money. So I think that plays right into what we're talking about.
You kind of become the people that you spend the most time with. So if you're at the gym, a few days a week, spending time with people that have very similar goals as you, you're gonna kind of live a better, healthier life outside of the gym too. Like if they're all eating better and going for walks and working out, like you're probably gonna adopt those habits as well. And just to add on to what Asa was saying, with that client of his, she brings in her kids sometimes, so her kids are seeing what she's doing and she's being a positive role model for them. We have another client working out right in the room behind us that's got her 2 boys here all the time, and they love working out. Actually, one of them is running around behind us. You might see him in the video. But just being a positive role model and raising up your kids that way to develop that discipline and take care of themselves is also worth the investment. Aside from just yourself, you're also impacting those around you, which I think is huge. So the community of it is awesome. But just to kind of go back to fitness in general, the reason that we need to work out in today's world is because such a high percentage of our jobs and the things that we do are sedentary. If it was 100, 200 years ago, pretty much everything you did was like manual labor. You were probably outside doing things. There wasn't technology. So they didn't necessarily need to work out in a gym because everything they did was working out. And the fact of the matter is we just don't need to do that anymore. We have automations and machines, and we work on a computer and phones. So we don't we're not moving our body outside every day like we used to, so we just have to go to the gym. So the gym just kind of replaced manual labor type things. And honestly, although it's a lot different, it's kind of more addicting. Like you get a better feeling from it, and it takes a lot less time. If you'd rather work 8 hours outside in the field doing manual labor, so be it. But if you want to just get a 30-minute workout in a gym, you can get almost the same benefits as we did hundreds of years ago, working all day long. So that is kind of the point of fitness. So we need to move. We don't really have a choice. You know, a lot of people think, you know, the gym's for a certain type of people. I'm not that type of person. Trust me, you don't get to choose whether or not you need to move in your life. If you choose not to move, you're gonna end a very, you know, poor lifestyle. You're gonna end up with some kind of disease or an early death. There's almost a guarantee to it. So we just need to take that into account and think about that. Is you need to just figure out what you want to do to move your body and take care of yourself. Invest and actually do it. Whether that is going to the gym or just going for walks, make sure that you're investing a little bit of time and money into doing those things.
Yeah, I think part of that stems from the misconception of like, oh, I don't need to, you know, run or walk because I don't want to, you know, not trying to do like a 5K or a marathon, or I'm not like an athlete, or oh, I don't need to lift weights because I don't want to gain muscle or look bulky for like women, or some guys just maybe just don't care about having muscle, so like, oh, I don't need to do that. And literally, it's not for that. People that you see on the magazines that are, you know, doing all these crazy transformations and they have all the ripped muscles, whether it's males or females, it's just coming in and lifting weights is not going to do that for you. That takes years and years of nutrition, fitness, getting all the boxes, and like even doing like a little 10%, 1%ers of supplements and getting everything right for years and consistency. That's why there's not many people that look like that. You're not going to walk around and see someone that looks like that every day, even once a year sometimes, just depending on where you're at. So just knowing that going in, and also asking yourself, do you ever lift things that are sometimes heavy, like, I don't know, a bag of dog food weighs 30, 40 pounds? You're lifting weight.
Yeah.
It's still a weight. Like, if you come in here and lift a 30-pound dumbbell, it's the same weight as that 30-pound bag of dog food. You're just training your body to get better at lifting that amount of weight, so then when you go to do it in, you know, your outside life, outside of the gym, it's way easier, takes less stress. And if you get to the point where you can't do that anymore and you can't do a squat, then you're going to be sitting in a chair the rest of your life, and
Then you're paying for somebody to help you.
yeah, then you're paying for someone to help you. So we don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, gym is not just for building muscles and like other things.
It's for everyday life.
Yes.
It basically, healthy nutrition and fitness prepares you for life. Life's demands. It's literally all it is.
Exactly.
And if you know, like for us, like we just enjoy fitness like somebody might enjoy ping pong or basketball or football. Like we love fitness because of the sport aspect of it. But you really don't have to do it to be a bodybuilder or a powerlifter. If you choose to do that, that's fantastic. People develop a passion for it, but we're just saying that it's not necessary. You don't have to be interested in being a physique competitor in order to work out. You should work out to be able to run and play with your kids, or be able to carry the groceries, you know, in and out of the house, and clean your house and things like that. Things that get harder and harder over time.
I think a lot of people feel like if they're not a bodybuilder, a powerlifter, or a regular gym goer, gym rat, then they don't belong here, which is not the case at all. That's just voices in your head that you need to get rid of, because everybody belongs here. Everybody belongs here. Every single person.
It's very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Does that wrap up fitness?
Yeah.
All right. Then the last, like, top maybe like 10%, maybe 20, probably just about 10%, is going to come from, you know, health gained from having certain supplements, doing like health trackers like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or Whoop or something like that we use, different like health accessories to improve your sleep, or, you know, to improve your workout, stuff like that. Those do help with consistency, and then supplements, like if you aren't getting enough from your diet, then, you know, the supplements can help add on to that as well. We're doing like some sort of like protein shake that's considered a supplement to your diet. So it may cost a little bit more for that, but it does save you from, you know, costs in the long run. You are going to get more protein from that versus, you know, if you just want to save time by making a shake in the morning, which I do and it's really handy, I mean, just throwing a scoop of protein powder in there is quicker than making eggs or something like that. So even though you are investing a little bit more money, you're saving some time that way too. And then like different like sleep accessories of room darkening shades, a white noise machine, or an app where you can buy, you know, different health app trackers or like workout plans, stuff like that that'll help.
But they're not like necessary
exactly.
for success.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take a ton of supplements, but I do the protein. It's just, I need a lot of protein with how much we work out and how active I am in my job. And it's hard for me to eat, you know, just plain meat or whatever to get my protein in, and I can't have dairy, so I can't even have yogurt. So protein powder is a good way for me to get in protein, especially right away in the morning. Pre-workout is one of those things, it's one of those supplements that it's probably more in my head than I actually really need it. Do you need it? Probably not. Do I take it? Yeah. And it's just one of those things, if you don't have the money for it, that's not something that you need to spend your money on. But if you do need a little pick-me-up, especially if you're working out early in the morning, then that might be worth your investment. I have an Apple Watch. I don't really need it. I more so just like it because like I have friends on here and we send each other messages when we finish a workout. It just kind of keeps each other motivated and accountable. For like sleep accessories, I sleep with a fan on, or I have an app on my phone if I'm away. It just helps me sleep better. It's not necessary, but it's something that I think is worth a little bit of an investment.
Yeah, what we're talking about, the supplements and the different accessories are just that little bit extra that can help you in the long run, pretty much. It's like the protein supplement's probably one of the most important supplements in my opinion, especially if you're doing resistance training. I think it's important, but none are not like very necessary for success. You know, it's gonna help a little bit. It's gonna help a little bit, which in the long run could save you a lot of time and money. So like you're talking about like the sleep accessories, whether it be a white noise machine or blackout curtains, like that could go a long way in the long run because you're getting better, deeper sleep every night. You know, and then your production improves every day. That's a big thing. And then the supplements are the same way. Like if you, I know one of the biggest vitamin deficiencies is the vitamin D. So if you were deficient in vitamin D and you started buying that and taking it, and you saw an improvement in your mood and just health overall, like that can help you production-wise also. So just the small things here, but they can still be important. And it's just like anything, like what we talk about. It's like investing in those things makes you focus even harder on the big picture, the nutrition and fitness.
Yeah, in our last episode I mentioned that like the supplements are like half psychological and half actually supplements. I mean, I love taking supplements and I do take a lot of them, but like I was telling these guys, when I take my pre-workout, I think it's half the ingredients that actually help me with my performance and half I just get pumped to drink it and take it, and psychologically I'm ready to work out after I drink it. Like you're not going to chug a pre-workout that has caffeine and an ingredient that makes you all tingly and then not work out. So also you just tend to push yourself a little bit harder. So like that's the point of that. Like a pre-workout, for example, is like not only does it help you get more endurance and energy, like if you're working out after work, for example, sometimes it might be hard. So mentally you might want to go home. So if you mixed up something to drink, it puts you in the right mood and it's going to help you with your performance. So that could be just one of those things that gets you into the gym. It's kind of like a secondary thing. And then like as far as sleep goes, if you've been watching a lot of our episodes, like you know that we push sleep more than almost anything else. So if you can improve your quality of sleep, everything else in your life is going to improve. Your health is going to improve, your productivity, your energy. You're actually going to reduce your cost of living in the long run because you can actually help avoid health risks because of just getting a better night's sleep. So for me, you know, blackout curtains and fan is something that I use every single night. I also take a supplement to help me get more deep in REM sleep, especially because I can only sleep for a certain number of hours. Waking up at 4 a.m., I want to make sure I'm maximizing my hours that I do get to sleep. So that's just something that I do to get more REM and deep sleep. And then other things like fitness trackers and stuff, like obviously Fitbits, Apple Watches are very, very popular. I think those are more for like the accountability piece of it, like, you know, hitting the goals and the recommendations that they might have, or being able to have friends on there that you can kind of compare stuff with. That really helps as well. So just those extra things that can give you a little bit better results, or maybe just keep you going. But they're basically accessories to the first two things that we talked about. You know, I mentioned in our last episode as well, like taking supplements. If you're investing the money in those, you're typically going to make sure that you're eating a little bit better, drinking more water, and actually getting to your workouts. You know, you're not going to skip the gym if you're paying for that other stuff to help supplement your results. So I think of those as kind of the top of the pyramid, that last little bit that can help you get an edge, but they're not necessary to at least get started. You know, focusing on the nutrition and the fitness first, invest your time and energy in those things, and then as you build in a routine, and maybe if you hit a plateau, or if you just want to get a little bit extra out of your work and your efforts, then you can get the fitness trackers and improve, you know, get the sleep accessories or the supplements and things like that.
Yeah, I think that 80% of the results can be seen just from attacking the nutrition and fitness part, maybe 90% if you really maximize those two. Like 90% of the benefits that we talked about are going to be maximized. One thing is, like, if you get better sleep and you're nailing your nutrition, you're nailing your fitness, your productivity is going to skyrocket, and then you're going to make more money through that too. Because if you're more productive at work, or like for promotions, kind of like what Austin said with his one client, your mood's just overall better, so people want to be around you more, and then, like I said, leads to promotion or some sort of increase in salary, or you're just at work more and you're able to get more done because you don't feel like you're drained from your negative lifestyle habits, like sugars and unhealthy foods and not working out. You feel worse doing that than if you are like coming in, working out, eating healthy, and getting enough sleep. One thing to kind of tie it back all in is with like investments. We kind of talked about this earlier, of how if you don't invest in your health now, it's just going to keep going down and getting worse over time, just like your money's going to be worth less over time. So if you're not investing in anything, just because of, well, for money it's inflation, and then for your health it's just because you're not taking care of yourself. Whereas if you're investing a certain amount into it each day, then the amount that you're saving, like money or time or health-wise, it's going to go up. So the more you invest in your health now, the more your health is going to be later, and the less cost you're going to have medical-wise. So I mean, if you start out just investing in a gym membership and just by cutting out certain foods, you know, you're going to get to a certain level of health, and if you're okay with that, then that's good. It's better than a negative trajectory. But the more you invest initially, the higher you're going to be able to get. So like if you do end up doing classes, personal training, you do like really nail the nutrition and you nail the supplements and everything like that, your health over the long term is going to be exponentially higher than those who just invested the minimal amount.
Yeah, and we mentioned in the beginning how you can actually buy time, and this is what we're talking about. When you invest into fitness and nutrition and all these things, you're going to add years to your life. And she found a statistic a few episodes ago that when you're obese, you're typically going to reduce your lifespan by like 20%. So if the average lifespan is 80 years, you're taking 16 years off your life by living a life being obese. So if you were to correct that and lose the weight, or if you already are in shape, being able to maintain that and never become an obese or unhealthy person, you're adding 20% to your life if you want to think about it like that. So you're actually buying time. So, you know, I like to think of, you know, we work our whole lives and we put away 10, 15% for retirement or for savings. We let that go up. That way we retire and enjoy our life. I think of investing the 30 minutes or 1 hour every day, the 4% of our day, is going to also compound over time and keep our health in check. So at the same time that you're building your wealth up with retirement, you're also building your health so that you can actually enjoy the retirement when that time comes. So many people anymore, work their whole life, build up retirement. As soon as they retire, they pass away from heart disease or diabetes because they were so unhealthy by the time they got to that age. And we wanted to try to avoid that decrepitude, and we want to try to increase your health or at least maintain it throughout your whole entire life. And this is how you do it. You have to invest a little bit of time and a little bit of money into these areas.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go like a 180-degree different lifestyle. It's small things that are going to add up to a big and way more better life at the end of it. So
yeah, a 1 hour workout is 4% of your day. So if you think about working out 1 hour a day, 3 days a week, over the course of the whole week, there's 168 hours, and that's only 3 hours of working out that it would really take. And so that's less than 1% of your time. And people say that they don't have enough. But what they don't realize is by not investing that 3 hours, they're taking potentially 10, 15 years off their life by not investing that 3 hours a week to just work out and move their body and strengthen themselves up. So just think about that, when you say that you can't make the time or you don't have the time, you always have time. Everybody's got the same 24 hours. There are people that own hundreds of businesses and work 12, 15-hour days, and they still work out every day and eat healthy. There is a way to do it. So if you're somebody that says that you don't have time to eat or work out, congratulations, because you're probably the world's busiest person. So you're basically admitting to that. And I would never say that. I'm always going to make time. I was somebody that stayed up till 2 a.m. and woke up at 10 p.m. and all of a sudden my life switched to where I'm going to bed at 8 p.m. and waking up at 4 a.m. You can change. Wake up earlier to get your workout in. That's an investment of your time. It's not wasted time. You're not losing out on anything. You're actually gaining. Getting that workout in, you're going to be so much more productive throughout the day, and I think you're just going to feel a lot better. So make sure you're investing not just the money for the memberships and the coaching that you might need, but investing the time and energy. You're going to transform your life. I've never met anybody that's worked with us that invested the time and money that has regretted it. All of them have made positive changes through their life, and I think they can say that they are happier and healthier. So make sure you just think about these things as you progress throughout life and start investing right away. Obviously, as a lot of people say, it's better to start young when you invest. So putting that 10 to 15% away, like as far as money goes, the younger you start, the more it's going to compound. So don't wait until something traumatic happens, like you get high blood pressure, develop diabetes or heart disease or anything like that, to change your lifestyle. Start before it happens. Start while you're healthy, and then you can avoid all those things. So I think that's it for today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see all of our other videos, make sure you like and subscribe. If you need help with any of these areas, feel free to reach out to any of us. We'd love to chat with you. Until then, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.